Okay, so it's time to start thinking about classes for next year. So the first question I want you to answer is just, what are you thinking about? I know it's hard to think of life, especially in this COVID situation, about what's coming up. So I'm just want to know if you're interested in four-year college, two-year college, tech trade school, military. If you think you might just go right into the workforce and that. If you have any idea what you might want to be, I know it's going to change for a lot of you, but just kind of seeing what you're kind of leaning towards right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through some of your options you have here. So this is the course guide that they have put online for you, and I've highlighted these. So blue is A students. If you're getting a solid A in here, you're really strong in science and STEM fields. Pink is if you have at least a B, so A students can still take the pink. Yellow is, so I would say anyone C or better on a lot of those from that. And then if you really struggled on that, the only real option on here is or space science in there. You can take the electives, but if you got below a C, you might have to convince your counselor, or they may say yes or no. I'm with it. So earth science, mainly we'll have students who took ICP instead of chemistry, but for people who really struggled in chemistry, they may let you put this in here. So we have two classes. We have earth space science and we have geology. So geology is typically considered a step above earth science on here. It's a little more rigorous on here, but if you just are really struggling in science, or science is something you can consider. But again, they're only going to consider it for you if your grade was below a C. Okay, so the most common thing that people go to after chemistry is physics. It's going to use some math. You're going to study things like wave, light, optic, forces, that kind of thing. You'll get to use little cars, slinkies, that kind of thing. Well, hopefully in person, we'll see. With it, you do have to have a fairly strong math background on there, but a lot of the stuff they're going to do is more conceptual. It won't be all math, but it's definitely better if you've taken this on there. If you so there is available to sophomores. Obviously, you guys are all at least sophomores with it, only if they're super strong in math. But they prefer that you've already taken Algebra 1, have a B average. Most people taking this are either in geometry or Algebra 2 for it. So I would recommend this if you are interested in engineering, if you're interested in any kind of science major. If you want to do a lot of medical things like physical therapy, go to medical school, all that kind of stuff, then you want physics. And it's good everyday life stuff, so how to solve things, how to use simple machines, all of that kind of stuff with it for it. Now, if you wanted to step up on it, there is the AP level is this as well. All right, so another common choice is anatomy and physiology. If you're interested in the body, this is good for people who are interested in nursing, medical careers, that kind of thing. You have to be comfortable with dissecting to take this class. If you're not, this is not the class for you with it on here. So you'll learn things like the bones, the muscles, dissect things. So all three of these next ones are available that are in yellow for it, so at least a C. In the science classes you've had so far. So zoology, you're going to learn about animals. They go to the zoo usually when it's not COVID times. We'll see if that will be available next year or not, but they learn a lot about different animals on there. Genetics, only take this if you like using microscopes because you'll be using this a lot. So you'll learn, I'm thinking about micro more in here. You will do it some in genetics. So in this one, if you like the biology, the Punnett squares, looking at characteristics on this, you can do that as well. This is just a semester class. So again, anything at a start is a semester class, so you want to take two. Microbiology, you want to only take if you like using the microscope. So they'll do things like plate bacteria and trying to get things to grow, that kind of stuff with that. All right, so our next one is forensics. And I was going to say too, zoology has been Mrs. Snyder. I think maybe Mrs. Noyes has taught it at times. And it's possible some of the other bio teachers. Genetics is, I think, Ferg. There might be one other thing. Microbiology has been Noyes, who's been teaching that. Again, these are all subject to change due to life and whatnot. So forensic science, Dr. Moreno has been the one teaching that. It's a combination of biology and chemistry. So if you like CSI and learning how to test things or whatnot, studying like criminal cases, this class could be for you. You should have a strong background in both biology and chemistry for it. So be in the lab a lot, looking up things, different cases, running samples, trying to match things up for it. You may take just the first semester if you want, or you can take the second, but you definitely have to be able to take the first. But some people I know have just taken it for a semester. All right, next one is neuroscience. So if you've been seeing a lot of that with SEL and whatnot, if you're interested in the brain and how that works for it, they recommend you take this either AP Psychology or Anatomy and Physio on that. So you might want to wait and take it after you've taken Anatomy for it. So just learning more about the brain and how things work. Right, and again, any starter class is a semester class. Oceanography, Mr. Redden has been the one teaching about that. They just learn more about animals in the ocean and, water testing, that kind of thing. Organic chemistry is also a semester. It's Dr. Kuhn. They do a lot of labs. This class is pretty intense. However, it is great for if you're interested in medical school, pharmacy, being a chemist, that kind of thing. That's one of the hardest classes for people in college, so it's good to see it now. So they look at stuff like polymers, flavors, fragrances, different fuels, all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in learning about the stars and space, there's astronomy that has been Mrs. Cologne who's taught this on here. So learning more about the different constellations and whatnot. You can either take it for a semester or you can take it for a whole year. Meteorology is if you're interested in learning about the weather. I think this has also been Mrs. Cologne teaching that. So how that works. Again, this is a semester class, so some people pair that with astronomy or oceanography or one of those things. You do want to take a full year of science. You need at least 3 years of science. Geology, this is a little higher level than earth science. So Ms. Haggerty has been teaching this. This was new this past year. So just doing a little bit more academic version of earth science with it. Learning about rocks and the earth and just other things out in nature. So if you like stuff like national parks and that kind of thing and learning more about all the phenomenon in the world, that's a good class to take. We do not offer material science. It's only at HSE. I don't know much about the research and dependent study. I don't think that's done by very many people. All right, so if you've done really well and you want something a little bit harder on here, here are some AP classes. So anatomy and physiology on this class is taught through Ball State. It is for college credit. You need a very strong background in chemistry. So I would suggest here that this is really only if you got an A in here for this class. Mrs. Good has taught this, but she's retiring this year, so I'm not quite sure who's going to go over with this. But it's really good if you want to go to like nursing school. You can get this classes done here. So again, you'll be dissecting, you'll be learning more about the body. AP Bio on this, I can't remember. I want to say it's Mr. Smith who teaches this one with it. So if you liked regular biology and you want to learn more about it, again, this is a higher level on here. So minimum, if you got a B on here, you got to be willing to work hard to do an AP class. All right, IB biology is an option if you're in the IB program on this. It is only available for seniors, so you've got to take an advanced science course. So it is on this one that you've taken that. Some people take anatomy first with it, so just something to think about in there. There's also an ACP biology with it where you can take it for college credit as well. There is IB chemistry. This is Dr. Kuhn. I would only recommend this if you've had an A in this course. So it's an advanced level chemistry. It's similar to AP chemistry, but it's for the IB program. It is also can be taken for college credit. AP Chem is Mr. Napolitano, Mr. in next door. He's awesome. It is a continuation of this at a much higher level, lots of labs. It is pretty intense though, so I would only recommend it if you had an A in here, maybe like a B plus at the lowest, and you're really willing to work, especially if we're still dealing with this next year. It's a tough class. with it. However, it's the best thing if you're going to go into something medical, pharmacy, etc., to get a good background if you're interested in research or whatnot. All right, we have AP Environmental Science. So this is Ferg who teaches it. If you're interested in something that's not science major, like maybe you want to go into business or law, this is a great course. I hear lots of positive things about this. But again, it's an AP course, so you're going to have to put in work. So just again, about the environment, studying different types of energy, ways to do things with like trash, types of cars, that kind of thing. With this, just a lot of problem solving in here. So there is physics that you can take at a higher level. This is basically the equivalent of honors physics on there. It's AP Physics 1. So you can take that. If you thought regular chemistry was too easy for you, you're getting, 95+% in there, want something a little harder, you can. With it, that is another option for here. Okay, so in this, there's also the biomed stuff. If you're in that program and what you can take from there. So I would just listen to your teacher and that sort of thing, but you've got those as options too. At the end of this, there's some things about section and whatnot and what you can do. So I hope this helps. I want you to take this survey and tell me kind of what you're thinking, as I have to make recommendations for you. Just want to get a little background, and then I can either add or take things away from what I'm going to recommend for you. Thank you.